Hey guys, David Patrick Green here, HackHollywood.com, HackBollywood.in. And so today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to act realistically, or in the words of Dave Chappelle, how to keep it real. And what we're really talking about here is how to look like a normal human being having a normal slice of life while you are working with somebody else's words and actions and directions and all of that stuff. So basically working from a script, how do you make that seem like it isn't from a script? There's two areas we're going to focus on, okay? The first area we're going to focus on is not to make a big deal out of things. And the second area we will focus on is improvisation. Okay, let's talk about, first of all, not making a big deal out of things. What does that even mean? Well, in life, if you haven't noticed, you don't go around trying to be emotional, trying to create conflict. Most people will avoid conflict, confrontation, and showing their emotions in front of other people almost at any cost. You know, your average transactions on a daily basis are very mundane, very pedestrian, very, hi, how are you? This fan is broken. I'm wondering if I can get a refund. Oh, I can't. Oh, but it says here you have a money back guarantee. Oh, well, yes, sir, but that's only when you have the receipt and you don't have the receipt. Yeah, but the fan is still broken and I've got it here. I'm sorry, sir. Okay. Right? Most people don't freak out. Even if they have a reason to be upset, they don't, because they don't want to get kicked out of the store. They don't want to get arrested. They don't want to go to jail. There's this biological imperative that comes from all animals and probably plants to some extent, but I have no basis of proof of that, that basically we seek to avoid conflict and danger, right? Because danger can kill you. Feeling good, positivity, doesn't necessarily save you from death, whereas avoiding conflict and avoiding getting all emotional, which could create a conflict, generally protects us and keeps us alive. So that's a very, very strong prerogative, and you should remember that. We don't go through life trying to stir up the pot, because there's danger associated with that. And so try and keep that in mind in your acting. Even though as an actor you like to say things like, oh, I can play so broken, I can cry on cue, I'm so connected emotionally. 99% of the time, most of the stuff you will do in acting, even if you are very successful, involves just setting up a story so that things can go terribly wrong later on, okay? And then when they do go terribly wrong, it's like that. It's that quick. Things go terribly wrong, and then the rest of the story is trying to sort out what went wrong and repair the broken lives and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so what you want to do is, even if you feel like you have reason to be emotional, you want to be suppressing those emotions. So you're allowed to have emotions, but you're not supposed to be looking to show your emotions, because that isn't realistic. It's not something we do. Someone who runs around in a highly wound up, emotional state, we would probably seek help for that person, right? If somebody's running around, and you probably have seen this if you live in a big city, you'll see some people yelling and talking to themselves and screaming, and what's the natural reaction to that? We kind of are like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with that person? And you kind of want to cross the street or call an ambulance and help them, because you feel like they're maybe having some kind of breakdown, right? So you don't want to be having a breakdown on camera. You want to be trying to figure out what it is you are trying to get from reading the scene and the story, and then what is the best way to get that. And yes, the obstacles that you will come across in the pursuit of your goals, just as they would in real life, will cause you to be upset because you're not getting what you want. But you don't break down and have a tantrum or a fit, or you don't start crying every time you don't get what you want. What you do, if you are heroic, which is what most characters tend to be in movies and film and books, we have heroes, and that means they behave heroically. So rather than giving up and collapsing and crying and, being down on all fours, banging your feet and your hands against the floor and screaming like a little child would have a tantrum, you try to deal with your problems and you try to figure out how to overcome them. Oh, all of a sudden, I don't have as much money as I thought, so I can't buy that car. Okay, so what can I do? Well, I can, and the script will tell you what you can do, because the script isn't going to have you just giving up, because then the movie would be over, the show would be over. You have an alternative plan, and so you have the upset of not getting what you want, but then you deal with it by having alternative plans, right? You learn and you proceed, you move forward. So it's really important to try and remember, first of all, to get a hold on what your goals are. You've got to read the whole story of whatever the scene is, or the whole story of your character. If you have the whole script or whatever, you need to know what it is you're going after and what's important and what's not important. And when you know the story, then you can see where this person is being passive and active, where it would seem that they are being emotional or not emotional. And so the guidelines are all there for you, okay? So you have to just remember to not try and push your emotions, but actually you're trying to restrain your emotions. Even if you feel emotions coming up, that's great. If you feel emotions coming up naturally, then you're doing a good job, because it means you are receiving what information is coming your way as the character would. You're feeling the good news, the bad news, and it's affecting you. That is what you want to be doing, but you don't want to go, oh, I hope I can get sad here. I'm going to try and make myself sad. Oh, it says sad in the script. You have to be very careful of that. And I'm not going to get into the whole script analysis. I'm just going to tell you right now that a lot of the directions are to help you, the reader, understand the story, but they are not there for the actor to perform on cue. Because it says sad doesn't mean you're sad. If it says sad, it means this thing was important to this person, and so it made them upset. But if you don't understand how it's important inside of you, then it's going to look fake if you just suddenly go from happy to sad without understanding what exactly might have made you sad. And it might not make you sad, it might make you something different. It might even make you laugh out of sadness, out of loss, right? People often laugh when bad things happen to them because they don't want to show the real true emotion, right? Great case in point. Okay, so as a rule, you need to understand the emotions of the story. So read the whole story, and then you have to try and live through it and control the emotions that are coming up, because people are very attuned to what other people do, whether it's truthfully or whether they're faking it. We can't necessarily tell a liar if the liar is behaving truthfully, but they are manipulating their own emotions or manipulating the display of their emotions, but they're not trying to force a fake emotion, right? They are manipulating. So humans are incredibly attuned to what looks right and what looks fake, okay? So it's just important to trust your instincts, let them go, let your emotions go wherever they take you, but to understand what it is you're really trying to do, right? What is this person trying to actually do? What is it they are trying to accomplish? Why did somebody write this scene down? Why is it still in the TV show? Why is it still in the movie? It's there for a reason. You have to figure out what the reason is, and then you have to act that reason out. Okay, so there's nothing has to come from you like that's inauthentic, okay? It just has to be based on whatever the story is and whatever your character's role is within that story. All right, now let's talk about improvisation. This is the easiest way to not get carried away with your emotions and to act realistically, okay? So what you want to do, again, we are back to reading the story and understanding what all the facts of the story are. And it's important to not add any facts, and it's very important to know what all of the facts are. Because If you have incomplete information, you're going to behave differently than if you have complete information, right? If you are going to lose your dream job if you miss this bus, that's one thing. If you don't know you're going to lose your dream job and you just miss a bus, that's another thing, right? If you're just going for a bus because you're going to your friend's house, that's one thing. If you're going to try and catch the bus because if you don't catch it, you are going to lose your dream job, that's a completely different relationship with the bus. Okay? So it's very important to understand every single fact. They have to be in your brain just like they would be in your brain if it was really happening to you. Okay? So know all the facts, know what the story is, and then try and be the character, but not concern yourself with the words of the character. Tell that story, tell the character's story in your own words. And that way, and you know what? Film yourself doing that so you know what it looks like. Because if you're just saying, oh my gosh, I got to get to that bus, and my mother was slow in putting together my lunch because she had, a late night appointment, and she's a hairdresser and she works so hard for us kids to go to school, and she got in late and she slept in a little bit, and therefore she was late making my lunch, and I'm trying to make it to the bus stop because I know I can do this job, but I've got to get to the interview or it's going to make this ridiculously bad impression and they're probably not going to hire me. So I got to get there and I'm stressed, because I'm worried. And then I see the bus. I'm like, I got to sprint. I got to make this bus. I will do anything. Right? And so if you're behaving that way naturally, it's going to look natural because you're not making anything up. You're not manufacturing any emotions, and you're not trying to memorize words and then trying to act out the words, which is death to an actor, is acting out words. No, you have to just behave as the story dictates and your perspective with all of the different facts of the story. Okay, so improvise. Don't bother trying to memorize. Improvise first. Record your improvisation and see if it looks believable. Like, does this look like a person who is going through what this scene, what this story says this person is going through? And if you agree with that, then now all you have to do is learn the words. You've already got the behavior. Now you just replace your own words with the writer's words, and you don't change anything. You don't second guess yourself and go, oh, but it says this, so I need to now behave this way. You don't have to do that. In fact, you should never do that. You have to trust your instincts. That's how you will behave and act realistically, because your truth, whatever it is the real you. And that is what's actually going to book you the job, not trying to second guess yourself or second guess what you think the writers or producers or directors want or what the casting directors want. It's trusting your instincts. But the best way to come to your instincts is to improvise before you memorize. And once you've improvised and you got the feel and it's kind of in your gut, then the memorization is so easy, because all of your memorization, all of your improvisation came from learning the facts. And once you know the facts, the lines of the actor are also based on the facts. In fact, they are the facts that you memorized. Is what do these people say when this, that, and the other happens, right? So it's all there. So it's really easy to transition from improvisation to memorization. So those are the two things you should focus on if you want to act realistically and keep it real, okay? Oh, I got a little birdie visitor somewhere. So that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you thought, and practice it. Try it out. Give me some feedback and let me know how it worked for you guys, okay? So remember, the first thing is don't make a big deal out of things. Like, don't try and push your emotional agenda because you want to. That's you, the actor. You, the person, doesn't push emotions. Emotions just come and you're trying to restrain them. Like, if something makes you want to cry, I don't want to cry in front of this person, but I feel so much compassion for them, but I'm gonna be strong for them because I'm trying to help them, right? Or I'm trying to help myself. And if I just collapse in emotion, I can't help myself and I can't help anyone else. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is improvise before you memorize. And that pretty much speaks for itself. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy this, and I will talk to you soon.